Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Catalyst webinar series presented by the Education Committee for the Southern California PGA. The Catalyst webinar series is a bi-weekly educational platform for creating success and change in your club and career. This week, we are very excited and proud to introduce Mr. Josh Salmon, PGA of the New Mexico State PGA Golf Management Program. This is near and dear to me. I am a graduate of NMSU, class of 1998. Josh and Director Pat Gavin run arguably the best PGA program in the country there. Josh is currently the Assistant Director of New Mexico State University PGA Golf Management Program. He is a PGA member. He is on the Board of Directors for the Sun Country PGA. He is the similar to Eric Lohman here in the Southern California section. Josh is the Education Chair on the Board of Directors for the Sun Country PGA. And he's also on the PGA National Education Committee as well. Good morning, Josh. Welcome to the Catalyst webinar series.
Good morning, John. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for having me. I'm looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to it for a long time since John reached out. I saw the list of presenters that you all have accumulated over the year, and it sounds to me and looks to me like I'm in great company. So I hope to bring some good information to everybody on the call and hopefully answer any questions that any of you may have. It's my understanding that you'll shoot your questions to John and throughout the presentation, and if he feels the need to kind of interject at that point in time, I'm perfectly okay with it. Any questions, please reach to John and he'll ask them. If not, we can save them for the end. That's okay too. But hopefully I will answer any questions you have throughout. So thank you for the kind introduction. I look forward to this, and so let's get started. So basically today what I wanted to do is just kind of talk about our program, but also not specifically about our program, but also about the programs around the country. And kind of this path to membership, being that there are two paths, the associate program and the university program, and just kind of give you an insight into what a student goes through when they come to a program and kind of the rigorous degree program as well as the PGA's education. So we will move on. All right, so I'll skip the introduction since John did great, but today we're just going to basically we're going to go like this. Who are we? Okay, what do we do? Why do we do it? How can we help you? You meaning the golf professional, you meaning the Southern California PGA section, or anybody that you're dealing with in this industry. So how can we help you? And then how can you help us? So these are some questions that we'll answer today throughout the presentation. And then, of course, we'll have some Q&A at the end. So who are we? So there's 18 PGA Golf Management universities across the country, spanning the entire country. When you look at it from a geographical standpoint, there's really only 5 or so schools that are west of the Mississippi, but you know, us being in New Mexico and Las Cruces, which is about 3 hours south of Albuquerque. We were established in 1987. Kind of interesting, quick story. University of New Mexico. So Guy Wimberly and Herb Wimberly. I'm sure there's maybe some people on the phone call that may know who they are. Both of them played golf for the University of New Mexico. They're both from Louisiana. Came to New Mexico, played there. And once they started getting involved in the governance of the PGA of America and starting the Sun Country section here in New Mexico and El Paso, they said, you know, there's a really neat opportunity for one of these programs, and we'd like to bring it to our alma mater. So they went and talked to the University of New Mexico and the University of New Mexico, basically, and so UNM are the Lobos, we're the Aggies, oftentimes confused. But UNM basically laughed him out of the room and said, we don't want that. So at the time, Herb Wimberly was the head golf professional at and the men's golf team here at New Mexico State. And so Guy called them and said, hey, I got this idea. Let's go talk to the university. They did. The current dean at the time said he had the presentation from them on a Friday. He called them on a Saturday and said, I can't sleep. We have to have this program. And so in 1987, it was established here at the university. Okay, we're in the College of Business in the Department of Marketing more specifically, and our students, which we'll talk about shortly, will get a degree from the College of Business and with a degree in marketing. Okay, we have a little more of who we are. We have award-winning faculty and staff. I've won section awards. Henry Statina, who's our third PGA member on staff and really is involved in our player development, instructor development, and community outreach and growth of the game initiatives here on campus and in our community. He's won a section awards. And Pat, of course, has too many section awards to count, but the one that we're really proud of him for is the 2014 National Horton Smith Award that he was the recipient of in Indianapolis at the annual meeting. So that is a testament to him and the longevity that he's had here, but also his commitment to education and excellence, not only at our program, not only in our section, but on a national level. So we've got, and we also have a number of award-winning faculty here at the university. We've won a number of teaching awards, research awards. So our students get to be around a lot of people who are really here for them and really know what they're doing. We wouldn't be who we are if we didn't have outstanding students from all around the world. At one point in time, our program consisted of people from all 50 states and 3 countries. Right now, we've got pretty good representation from most of the states and a couple of the countries. So, like I said, we would not be who we are if it weren't for the students that come here, if it weren't for our faculty and staff here at the university, and for really, myself and Henry will tell you that Pat has been a huge mentor to us, and I think anybody who's come through the program will tell you the same thing. So he's really made this program what it is today. We also wouldn't be who we are without our award-winning alumni. Okay, we've got a lot of students that come here. They go out. We prepare them as best as we can. Our internship sites and golf professionals such as yourself are taking on interns from our programs, from other programs, but they're going out and doing a great job, and then they're going out and winning section awards, national awards, doing great things in their community. So we would not be who we are without them representing us well and creating a really good name for us and really enhancing our brand from an alumni standpoint. So we are who we are because of those individuals. So here's a quick picture. These are 5 students. I think Nate LeBlanc, he said he was going to be on the call today. So Nate, if you're out there, here's a little shout out to you. Nate's in the picture, 3rd from the right there. If you're looking at it, he was on our Jones Cup. This is our national championship. So we'll talk about the playing opportunities the students get here, but we all got into this industry because we love to play the game. And so we really encourage our students to play the game and play it at a high level. So this is us holding our Jones Cup trophy, which is the national championship among the 18 universities. This was in 2015. 2016, we defended the title. And then over the last 2 years, we finished in the top 5. So we're looking to take a group of students out there this year and win it again. Here's a picture. The picture on the left here of all the awards. So this is at our Sun Country, our fall 2018 meeting and our awards luncheon. 7 looks to be 7 there. 7 of the 12 award winners were alumni of our program. So every one of these individuals are doing really great things at their facilities. Good enough, obviously, to be recognized by their peers in winning a section awards. And so all of us know when you win a section awards, we're not doing it for the awards, but it's nice to be recognized every now and again. So we do this because we love it. The picture there at the top says Memorial Tower. We were fortunate enough to have John Easterbrook, our chief membership officer of PGA, come down and speak to our students. So here's a group of our students that were in attendance, talk to them about careers in the industry and kind of what's out there and what they can do from starting now to start preparing themselves out there. So it was pretty cool to have him on campus, and it was pretty cool for him to take the time, as much as he travels, to stop in and check in with us and speak to our students. So there's a nice group of our students there. I thought that'd be kind of neat to show you. So what do we do? Okay, as I mentioned, we are in the College of Business here at New Mexico State. Our students, when they come to our program, they're coming with the understanding that they're going to get a 4-year Bachelor of Business Administration degree with a major in marketing and a concentration in PGA golf management. Okay. What I want everybody on this call to really understand is that not every university is housed in the College of Business. Every university program, PGA golf management program, might be housed in a different college on their respective campuses. We chose the College of Business as kind of a great major for them to have, because we are running businesses. Everybody out here, everybody on the call understands that, you are running multi-million-dollar businesses. You're responsible for day-to-day operations. You're responsible for managing staff. You're responsible for understanding how organizations work and how individual behavior affects your organization, and what you can do as a manager to help your organization be successful, not only from a revenue standpoint, but from a customer service standpoint, and from leading your team in a way and creating a culture at your facility that people want to be a part of. So when they get here, they know they're getting a business degree, and we feel that makes them more credible than if it was just a straight PGA golf management degree. They're getting the marketing principles, they're getting the organizational behavior, they're getting some business law, they're getting statistics, they're getting the math, the English, the general education. But now, once they get into their upper division, they're really focusing on the business aspect of everything. So we feel that is a huge advantage to our students, or to any university that has their program in the College of Business. What else do we do? Well, they're here for our program, the PGA Golf Management Program. So we, as a part of our program, they're going to get their 4-year degree, but inside of that 4-year degree, we have 8 specific classes that they take per semester that will get them through, guide them through, help them through all 3 levels of the PGA's PGM educational program. When you think about it, there's probably a broad range of people on this call that went through different educational programs that the PGA's had. You had business school, right? And then after business school, it went to GPTP. After GPTP, it went to PGM 1.0. Then it went to PGM 2.0, and now we're currently in PGM 3.0. And of course, with the new specialized and certified programs, as well as the master professional programs that Dawes and the education department, as well as the education committee, has been working on for a number of years now to get going, to make our graduates, not only the graduates in our program, but the associates who go through the program, to really give them the credibility that the PGA brand deserves and has always had, but also to kind of enhance that brand by saying, look, this program that they're going to is a rigorous program, and I'm not just speaking the rigorous program of our students in our program. I'm speaking of the rigorous program that the education system is now in our association. What the students and associates have to do now is is a lot more than they've ever had to do, and I think it's a great thing. So you can look at the educational program in three different ways, if you will, are broken down into three different categories. You have the people, the business, and the game. Okay, the game. We'll start with the game because that's why we all became golf professionals and PGA members, is because we love the game of golf. We love to play the game of golf. And what better way to grow our industry than to be able to teach individuals how to play golf and see the smiles on their face when they hit that first shot in the center of the club face and it goes just like they envisioned in their mind. What better way than to bring the game to grow our profession and to grow our game than to bring the game of golf into elementary and middle schools and teach young people in the community that may not ever get a chance to play the game, bring golf to them and let them see how great of a game it can be and how life-changing this game can be. So you look at it from that standpoint, right, from the game standpoint, and that's really the pillar of our association, is the game of golf. But then when you look at it from the people and business standpoint, we're going to take them through the education of customer service, right? We're going to take them through supervising and delegating, and how do we deal with performance problems, and how do we address performance problems? What do we have in place at our facilities that's going to allow us the opportunity to deal with the performance problems in a systematic way, to where that you're not just saying, hey, do this, and if you don't, hear the consequences. Everybody on our staff knows that there's a systematic process that we have at our facilities to handle performance problems, because we as golf professionals, we as mentors, we as the leaders at our facilities need to make sure that we are grooming our staff and that we're preparing them to do bigger and better things. I always tell students in my class, look, if I'm running a facility, I should be running a facility knowing that and helping you grow, if you're my staff, in order that if I were to leave, any one of you could take, or the best person for the job could take my job and make it better than it was when I left. I feel personally that that's what we should be doing, and I know that our students are starting to kind of grasp that. But when you look at, again, the second kind of pillar, the people, understanding that we have to build relationships, we're going to take them through that. When you look at the business side, we're going to give them everything, not only the university education, but we're going to give them the PGA Golf Management, or the PGA PGM program, business planning, golf operations. Okay, we're going to talk about turf grass and how making sure that you're communicating with your superintendent and your agronomy team helps your business. We're going to talk about merchandising, tournament operations, golf cart fleet, everything that you've seen. We're going through in depth in the classroom with these students, with real life situations, as well as work experience portfolio activities that they will do in conjunction with their internships, but also as part of the classroom homework, if you will, in our classes. So we have face time with our students every semester at every level until they graduate, which is a huge part of the program. You know, having them once a year would not work. By having them once a semester, we're able to kind of help answer any questions, but we're also able to instill these life skills that we're trying to get to them that they may or may not have already, or if they do have them, try to cultivate them and make them better so that when they go out into the real world, they can put this foundation of knowledge that they have into action. Another thing I tell our students is we're going to give you the basic foundation, not the basic, but we're going to give you a really good foundation, and we're going to touch on a lot of this stuff. But realize that a lot of the stuff that you're going to learn by doing. You're going to learn by being put in pressure situations where you have to think on your feet and you have to be able to make good decisions. So if we can prepare them from yes, an educational standpoint, but yes, from a confidence standpoint and a mental standpoint for situations that they might find themselves in. It's going to be a lot easier for them to make good decisions when they're out working. As an intern, we hope that when they show up to your facilities, that they're able to think quickly on their feet and make decisions that are going to benefit the overall operation, and not just a decision they think that they need to make to benefit themselves. So those are things that we're doing. I touched on this a little bit already, but prepare students for life in the real world. I put that in quotations because what is really the real world, right? Right now, our students are probably in the best time of their lives, being in college and really having no responsibility other than making sure they're taking care of their studies. And when it comes time for internships, they're doing a great job at our facilities and representing themselves. We try to instill in our students from day one. You come to us as a 17 or 18-year-old student. Most of them, a large portion of them will. We will get some second career individuals or students who have already been in college or have already worked. But the majority of the students that come into university programs, and specifically ours, are going to be first-time students. And so we expect of them a level of professionalism that is much higher, a level of maturity that is much higher than maybe a traditional first-year student is, because when they get here, they're going to monthly meetings, they're wearing business attire, they're in coat and tie. We're preparing them for when they're at their section meetings, or we're preparing them for their job interviews. We're preparing them for when they attend annual meetings, when they're sitting down and talking to members of committees or national board members or past presidents or maybe our current officers, and they're speaking to them. We want them to understand how to interact professionally, and part of that is looking professional. We expect them to grow up quicker, because the first summer that they're here, they're not going back to their families and saying, hey, I get to hang out all summer and hang out with my high school buddies. No, we expect them to be on internship, working full-time, and helping, being an asset to whatever facility that they're at. And we also want them to understand that from now on, and it should have been this way all their life growing up, but from now on, they represent more than just themselves. They'll always represent themselves and their last name and their name, because they have to remember that. But they're also representing our institution. They're representing our program, which we've worked hard over the years to build an outstanding reputation. And they're representing the PGA of America, which, as we all know, is the largest working sports organization in the world. So when you're asking an 18-year-old kid to come in here and do these things, it's an eye-opener for them. So then what do we do along the way to prepare them for the real world? We're giving them these little snippets, little life skills, putting them in situations that make them come out of their comfort zone, so that when they go out to represent those associations, our program themselves, the university, the PGA of America, they're more fit for that. And obviously we know they're still young, they're still growing, and they're still learning. And as they progress through their internships and as they progress through the program, they're going to get better. What else do we do? Internship placement. Okay, our students, as is true for all 18 universities, all students are required to complete 16 months of internship. Here at New Mexico State, our students do three 3-month internships or summer internships, and then a summer fall internship, which we would call an extended or 7-month internship. That would get them to 16 months. These students can go wherever they want, really, but we provide them opportunities to go all over the country, all over the world. The PGA of America, from a national standpoint, has done a really great job of creating a global internship program. As we all know, golf is a global game, and I think that our association is now starting to move forward in the global arena from a golf standpoint. And us being the leaders in the business and playing of the game, I think we're starting to get our feet wet and and maybe even possibly jump into the deep end from a global standpoint. But from an internship perspective, students want to have the best experience possible. That's not to say that going overseas or going on a global internship is going to provide them the best experience, because we have many, many really great experiences across our own country. But sometimes they want to get that culture change, so they can go see, they can work at a facility that's going to give them a great experience, but when they're not working, they can experience another culture and see how golf is perceived in other countries. So from a global standpoint, we have those. And then, like I mentioned, we have many opportunities here. Through our office, we get, this is probably lowball, but 750 to 800 internships will come through our office every year. And we're talking from all over the place. Okay, what does a typical internship look like? It looks like we can almost guarantee that any student that goes on an internship is going to get free housing and $13 to $15 an hour. That's what the times are dictating now. There are more jobs than we have students currently, and I think that's kind of it's a good thing from an intern standpoint, but from a business standpoint, we're looking at maybe a shortage in people. And so I know that our membership committee from a national level and our employment committee are looking at ways that we can attack this and recruiting more individuals into the programs, university and associate. And, how can we help to fill those jobs that our facilities have? So part of what we do is to help fill those roles. Yes, we can only do it from an intern standpoint 3 months at a time or 7 months at a time. But hopefully those individuals will go and prove themselves and be a good asset to your facility, that you might reach out and say, hey, we want this individual back, or you might reach out to that individual specifically and say, we'd love for you to come back, and maybe come back in a full-time capacity. Internship placement is kind of a loose term. We don't actually place the students. The job doesn't come in. We don't take student A and say, student A, you're going to this facility. They come in, and when the internships are submitted to us, we send them to our students, and we ask that our students look in depth at them and see what is being offered, see where it's at, and see if it's an interest to them. If it is an interest to them, then they're going to send their resume to those facilities. And they're going to go through an interview process just like anyone else would that wasn't in our program. They're going to, maybe a phone interview, maybe a Skype interview, maybe a facility flies individuals out to the facility to have an interview in person. But one of the ways that we help to place the students or to help get them connected with employers is we host a career expo every year in November that is specific to the golf industry. And so we send out invitation to any golf professional that wants to attend, and we charge a nominal fee for essentially a booth like the PGA show. I'm sure many of you have been to the PGA show, and the university programs have an area that we all have booths, and employers will come by, talk to students. Well, now kind of the roles are flipped, where the employer or the facility that comes in will have their own area in our banquet room, and our students will show up and kind of roam the floor, if you will, and speak to all the facilities. That's on normally on a Tuesday, late afternoon, early evening, about 2 or 3 hours worth of time. The students can come through and talk to the facilities, and then what they're doing is they're finding these places they find interesting that they could see themselves working at, and they're setting up interviews for the following morning. We had a career expo, our first annual career expo last year, and we had, I think, we had 12 facilities come from all over the country, and all 12 of them, I think, would tell you that it was a success on their part. But our students, most everybody who had interviews with facilities the following morning were offered jobs within either that day or 2 weeks of them having the interview. and most of the facilities that came secured their internship needs just by being here. And that was our way to make sure that our students are getting placed as quickly as possible. So we're very hands-on in the internship placement side of it, and we're making sure that these interns are going to facilities that are going to provide them an opportunity to grow in the profession and give them an even more well-rounded experience. What else do we do? Well, we're big on playing, right? I've said it a couple times now that we all got into this industry because we love to play the game, or maybe we just love to be around people and we wanted to run a business and do things that we love and be around the game that we love. But I think most of us got into it from playing standpoint. Here at New Mexico State, we offer an extensive tournament program. We have 30 to 40 events per academic year, so you're looking at 15 to 20 per semester. And so right now, currently, we're in the peak of our tournament season here on campus. We just completed our match play qualifier, and now we're into the match play rounds. Round 2 is Friday, but prior to that, we had this. I think this would be called tour event number 8. Our match play championship is tour event number 8. So school started August 21st. We already have 8 events under our belt, and we'll have another 8 or 9 before the semester ends, with every semester culminating in a tournament of champions for those who qualify. The reason we have this tournament program is more than twofold, but there's a number of reasons. Number one, we want our students to compete under pressure situations, play with people that are better than them to grow their ability and skills, and to push them and motivate them to do better. But I think every one of you on the call are familiar with how to become a PGA member, and one of the requirements is to pass a playing ability test. And we've found over the years that our students have a better chance of passing a PAT if we put them in pressure situations where every shot counts. Okay? It's easy for all of us to go play with our buddies and shoot really good rounds when there's really no pressure, or when you're on the range and you hit a bad shot, you can rake another ball to hit another ball. But once you know that this shot counts, it puts the pressure, and now how do you handle that pressure? When you make a bogey or double bogey, how does it affect you mentally, and how can we move forward? So that's one of the reasons we have our tournament program. Number 2, it's preparing them for when they become PGA members and they're playing with members, or they're playing in section events, or they're representing the club on a national, maybe a winter series event, or maybe they're good enough to qualify for the national championship, senior or regular, non-senior, okay, or assistance championship. We feel that our tournaments are kind of preparing them for that. And then another big reason is part of our job as PGA golf professionals is we run a lot of tournaments. And so if we can run tournaments and show our students, hey, here's how a tournament should be run, here's the things that you should look at when you're putting it together. Yes, you're going to get that in tournament operations in class, but here's some real-life application, and have them involved from a scoring standpoint, from a setup standpoint, from an entry taking entry fees, running it on Golf Genius, doing live scoring, creating the portals, all that stuff. It's going to make them more attractive to employers when they're looking for internships and permanent positions. We also have an extensive player development and instructor development program. I mentioned Henry Statina earlier. He is the main person for this, but part of our player development program is our tournament program. But he works with the individuals. We have a state-of-the-art TrackMan lab here on campus that our students spend a lot of time in and can go whenever they want throughout the week, in between classes, whatever it may be. He's working with individuals. He's developed a PAT challenge to prepare the incoming students and those who have not passed the PAT for the PAT. And then once they pass the PAT, they can kind of move more into a mentor role or an instructor role. But all the while, they're all learning about instructor development and how to become a better golf instructor. That was one of the big things that we've heard from a number of employers, was that students coming out of our programs really didn't have the skill set or the knowledge of teaching. and the way our game is going, I think, you know, teaching has always been huge, but there's more of an emphasis on teaching and coaching now. So we're doing our part to try to help develop our young people here on campus so that when they go out, they can participate in your group development program or your group instruction programs, individual instruction programs, your youth programs, your junior golf programs, all of that stuff, and they're going to have a pretty good foundation for you to work with when they arrive. Okay. We also do a lot of growth of the game initiatives. Henry Statina took it upon himself to start a PGA Junior League using our students as coaches, and one of the area golf courses here, public golf course, he does some teaching, golf instruction, teaching, coaching on the side on the weekends, and so he decided he was going to start a junior league program, or not start, but he was going to make this junior league program as best as it could be. And he took this club, Red Hawk Golf Course here in Las Cruces, from 6 PGA Junior League participants in their first year before he got here. And the year he took over, he grew it from 6 participants to 107 participants in year 1. The Sun Country section is also the largest, how would I say, they've redeemed the most scholarships, PGA Junior League scholarships of any section through what Henry has done. So he's grown Red Hawk from 6 participants to 107, and New Mexico State has grown from 10 or so to 40. Sonoma Ranch has grown from 6 or 7 now to about 25, and that's all can be kind of attributed to the work that Henry's doing, because he's worked with all of the area golf courses on doing that. And now he's taken our students, so a lot of our students have been highly involved in the PGA Junior League here, not only over the summer, but now with kind of these fall leagues beginning, they've been able to take advantage of that pretty good. Mentorship. This is a huge part of what we do at our university in our program. We do this for that reason. We want to mentor our students, and we ask, and we'll talk about this right before we close, but we ask that our golf professionals that we send our students to do the same thing. We have an open door policy here at our program. Students can come in, sit down at our desk, talk to us about anything and everything. We come in early on days we know there's going to be busy traffic in our office, because we know for 2 or 3 hours of the day we're not going to be able to get much done, because we'll have students in here talking about whatever it is, okay, their golf game, what's going on at home. We want to build relationships with our students so that we know who their family is, we know where they're from, we know the struggles they're going through by being away from home for the first time, and how can we help you get through that and become a better person for dealing with any adversity, but also mentor you in the way that is going to allow you to be a successful contributor to our association when you become PGA members. So mentorship is a huge part of what we do for sure. There's a couple of pictures of our junior leaguers and our students and our alumni that are doing this. This is at Red Hawk Golf Course here in Las Cruces. And so I just figured this would be kind of cool for you to see our students kind of in action, interacting with these young people a lot, and realize that a lot of the students that are the participants in PGA Junior League here come from low-income families. They've never touched a golf club in their life, and now golf is beginning to change their lives and their families' lives. And if you were to do a panorama of the room, okay, and look at the individuals who are at the golf course that are playing golf, not only the kids but their families, you look and say, I would have never imagined that I would have seen this group of people at a golf course. So to see what Henry has done with Junior League, but also working with the Boys and Girls Club here locally to get the youth involved in playing the game is unbelievable. And many of you may have seen the piece that was aired right before or during the PGA Championship, they highlighted one of his PGA junior leaguers and how golf has changed her life significantly. And she's in a foster care system, and to see what golf has been able to do for her has been unbelievable. And so for our students to get the opportunity to do this and touch these students, these young people's lives at their stage of life right now, our student stage of life, I think that's going to go a long way in creating really good golf professionals and really good people. Here's a couple pictures. Angela Hsu, she's the senior in our program. And you see her working with one of our instructors that came for our teaching seminars in our lab. Talking about the golf swing here, like I mentioned, our lab gets used all the time. When you look over here to the two students standing here with one of our PGA faculty that came down from Port St. Lucie, Florida to give a level 1 seminar. So our students are doing the seminars here on campus as well. Here's another area golf professional who came down to do some speed training with our students and work on their on not only their speed, but how can we help our players get more speed in their golf swing. So this is at our banquet room at the golf course, and so that I think we had some bad weather, so they moved it inside. But this is just an example of one of the area golf professionals wanting to come speak to our students and our students wanting to go learn. The only seminars that are required for our students to attend to are the PGA specific seminars. So our students really take it upon themselves to attend the seminars that we put in place. Here's an example. This is myself. I'm right in the middle there next to Sean Woods. Henry Statina's in the orange shirt there, and then Pat Gavin with his patented bucket hat. For all of you individuals know, he always wore the bucket hat, but this is us three playing. These are the opponents that we played in match play round 1. So just to see that we're getting out and playing with the students really makes a huge difference in their thought process on why it's important to play the game. Here's our worldwide internship placement. Just a quick picture, a couple of quick pictures. Again, Angela here, she spent some time in Mission Hills in China, the PGA Golf Academy. She had an amazing time. She's from China, so it was really good for her to go home. And then the picture here with the students in their business attire was at last year's expo, and the picture is just one side of the room, but the facilities wrapped all around the room, and it was a really good success for us. So, and we'll talk about how you can come if you want to come. Why do we do it? Well, we do it because of the students. Okay, we're here for the students. Everything we do is about the students, and everything we do puts the students first. We do it to build relationships. Okay, we don't want our students to come in feeling like they're just another number. We want our students to come in and feel like they're going to build a relationship with us as a faculty and staff, so that when they leave here, they're comfortable calling us with questions about membership, or they're comfortable calling us to help them find a job because they're relocating, or they're comfortable giving back financially to our program to help our scholarship program, which we have. We gave out about $42,000 in scholarships this academic year. So, and that's all because of our alumni giving back to our program. We're here to promote a career in our industry. Okay, we love our industry. We love the game of golf. We love being PGA golf professionals, and we want to promote that to our students so that they can go out and love what they do. We want to grow our profession. As I mentioned before, we've got a lot of jobs that are maybe going unfilled, and our association as a whole is working on how can we do that. So we're trying to do our part here at New Mexico State to grow our profession and get it and grow it in a way that's going to be helpful to the community, helpful to the consumer, and helpful to the ownerships, to the boards and owners out there, and to our association overall. We're here. We do it to enhance our brand, New Mexico State and the PGA of America. Okay, we want to enhance the brand and make sure that the product that we're providing is of high quality. And if we can do that, we try to do that every day, which is why it's a huge part of what we do here. We do it to be mentors. We've all had mentors, and I think if I polled any audience that I ever speak to or am a part of, that everyone can point to one or two or three or so specific people that were huge influences in their life and mentored them in a way that helped them get to where they want to be. That's who we want to be to our students, to get them where they want to be. And that's what we ask of our employers that we send our students to. Become one of those mentors. Don't just rely on us to give them everything we need. We want to rely on you to give them the things that they need as well. And ultimately, we do it because we love it. Growing up, my dad always told me, just as many people have probably told you, if you do something that you love, it's not a job. You're going to get up every morning and love what you do and be excited to get to work because you know it's not work. You're doing it because you love it. And that's a big reason, and probably the ultimate reason we do what we do. Okay? So how can we help you? We can help you by being a resource, okay? A resource about anything. You want to talk about interns, you want to talk about what does a quality internship look like? What can you do to help position yourself at your facility to get interns from New Mexico State? What can you do at your facility to position yourself to just be a better golf professional? We're here for a resource. We don't have all the answers, but we've been around so many people and that we have a pretty good idea of what things look like from our perspective. We're here to provide. How can we help you? We can provide quality interns. Okay, I can promise you that we put thought into every internship that we send a student to. We don't want to just send somebody to a facility just to fill a void. We want to make sure that that intern is going to fit the needs of that facility from what they're asking for from a skill set perspective and a personality perspective. We don't want to send our intern to a place that really requires a great player because they want them out playing with the members. If that student, they may be the greatest, most personable person there is, but if they can't get out and play with the members at a high level, we don't want to send them there because it's going to be a bad experience for everyone. We can also provide quality graduates. We're not just in the business of providing interns. We're in the business of making sure that that our graduates are quality as well. And we do that by mentoring them throughout. But when they graduate and you're looking to hire individuals for full-time employment, we want to be able to let you know that we're here to provide as much support as we can and send out any jobs that you have to our graduates, recent graduates, all graduates that might be looking for a position or maybe a facility change. Okay? How can you help us? You can provide quality internships. An internship that is going to challenge the student, that's going to provide them opportunities to participate in all areas of the golf operation, not just sticking them in the bag room and expecting them to do this. Yes, there are individuals who need to be in the bag room that need that. They need to learn how that works. They need to be maybe in the golf shop. They need to know how that works. But we ask that you provide an internship that is going to give them the most opportunity to be successful after they leave our program and after they leave your facility. We ask that you provide quality full-time employment. If you send us a job, make sure that it is worth its weight. We want to make sure that we're providing these opportunities to our graduates, but we want to, again, challenge those graduates to be better. Maybe it's an opportunity for them to come in and do a lot of things, bring programming in, whatever it may be. But we ask that you, when you send us these job postings, that they're well thought out and well prepared, so that when we send it out, most of the questions are going to, if not all the questions that they may have, are answered. And the biggest way that you can help us is mentor our students. I've heard too many times the golf professional calls us and says, "What are you guys doing?" Maybe they ask us, "What are you doing there? Why is this individual this way?" They put the emphasis on us, and while we take responsibility for it, we ask that our golf professionals that are hosting our interns mentor them as well. We want them to get as big of a network as possible and mentor the students just as we would to make them great for our association.
Josh, thank you very much. Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Many questions have come in here over the last 20 minutes or so.
Well, I got as much time as you need.
What is your process for determining best clubs for internship placement?
That is an excellent question. So we have to look at it from a student's perspective, realizing that these students are many students. Maybe their parents pay for their education, maybe not. But most of the students, when they move off campus, they're looking, or they live on campus for a year, they move off campus. So now they're having to pay rent. So one of the biggest things that we look for is what initially is provided to the student from a housing standpoint, because the last thing we want them to do is go on an internship where they're going to lose money. It's not about making money, but it's about the experience. But if there's free housing, in the student's mind, they go to the top of the list. From my standpoint, I'm looking at what I mentioned earlier. What is the overall job duties? Are they going to get experience in the bag room? Are they going to get some time in the golf shop? Are they going to get some time doing junior golf? Maybe some individual lessons? Are they going to get a chance to shadow the instructor? You know, I'm looking at from an overall perspective. That's my process to determine, is this a valuable internship for you, or are they just paying a bunch of money and that's what you want to go to? So I'm looking at what type of well-rounded experience the individual is going to get.
How have you, the program, addressed the decline in golfers, the decline in golf, and the decline in golf employment opportunities?
So as I mentioned, we've seen an increase in employment opportunities from an internship standpoint, but from a decline in maybe individuals wanting to get in the industry, we've really ramped up our recruiting. We've spent significant resources doing recruiting, social media, email. We go to junior events, things like that, to get people in so that we can start developing, future golf professionals. But from a decline, I understand there's a decline in some things, but as I mentioned, we've actually seen an increase over the last few years in job availability. So from how are we addressing getting those jobs filled, we're trying to do our part and recruit students to our program so that we have more individuals to fill those roles that are available to individuals.
With the national movement of the three categories of growing PGA professionals towards the career destinations of golf, general management, teaching and coaching, and golf operations, how have those three channels customized the way that the PGM program is operating?
That's a great question. I can speak to the universities as a whole on this, that all of our students are essentially placed in the golf operations track. So the associates can kind of choose to branch off and specialize once they get through level 1. But our students are all going to be at our program, and every program are in the golf operations side of it. So we haven't really had to customize much. I know that because we're a university program, curriculum and things like that, resources from a faculty and staff perspective play a role in allowing our students to be able to choose after level 1. So I know that the education team, it might down the line there might be a solution that would allow a student to specialize or choose one of those specific career tracks that you mentioned, but as of right now, we haven't had to modify or do much with our programs because all of our students are in the golf operations track.
Fantastic. Those are all the questions that we have this morning on the SCPGA Catalyst webinar series. On behalf of the Education Committee for the Southern California section, we would like to thank Josh Salmon for taking the time to educate our section this morning. The PGM program at not only New Mexico State, but all of the 18 facilities are very vital for providing education and growing our industry. And we are grateful that you've taken the time to present to us today. Thank you very much, Josh.
Absolutely, and anybody on the call, feel free. My contact information is right there. Shoot me an email, my cell number. I put that on my business card. We're not trying to hide from anybody. I'd love to answer any questions offline that you may have or further discussion on anything. But I appreciate all of you allowing me the opportunity to be a part of your webinar series or the Catalyst series. It's been a pleasure, and I wish all of you the best of luck. In any way we can help you in the future from our program's perspective, please do not hesitate to reach out. And thank you, John, for allowing me this opportunity.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Josh. For all the attendees on this morning's Catalyst, as usual, we'll be sending out the YouTube link of Josh's presentation this morning, along with a 10-question Catalyst quiz. Please take the quiz and return it to Sharon Kerfman at the Southern California section office. Her email address is scurfman@PGAHQ. So that's skerfman@PGAHQ. A score of 70% or higher will earn 1 MSR credit for attending this morning's Catalyst. Also want to encourage everybody to make arrangements for the next Catalyst webinar series on October 10th. Howie Canote will be championing a presentation with Perry Golf. And we're excited to have them on as well. Once again, Josh, thank you. Catalyst attendees, thank you for taking the time to be on this morning's broadcast. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
We'll see you.